Hello and welcome to Arsenal Above All. A very, very quiet Sunday afternoon was had by all, I think, in the Arsenal universe. It wasn't so much as fog of the time, it was more like raising the fogging standards with a statement win against the Geordies. What a fantastic afternoon it was. I've got two fine gentlemen here with me to discuss this. I've got Melvyn, the early ways Arsenal, Mark, the Arsenal godfather. How you doing, Melvyn? Oh, you're on mute. Let me see if you're on mute.
Could have done this last night, straight after the game.
Yeah, I know. You're still buzzing. Great stuff. And we've also got the Arsenal Rizzer, James Johnson. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm glad. You know, when you say to me, James, would you like to come on a podcast? 10 times out of 10, Michael, I'll say yes. But when you say, do you want to come on a podcast with Melvyn as well? I'm giving you 11 out of 10 times yes. I mean,
yeah, you turned it up to 11, yeah.
To be here with Vito and Michael, this is a blessing. I feel it. I'm like you said earlier, the Arsenal godfather. And yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing to be here. Thank you very much.
Fantastic stuff. A lot to get into, so let's get into the quick intro. Let's go. Fantastic stuff. Thanks, gents, as always, for your time. So, Arsenal travelled to Tyneside, and the narratives were set. That this is going to be a tough one. The results we've had against Newcastle the last couple of seasons, and by all intents and purposes, we totally deserved that. We totally deserved the win. All the stats and everything, that's coming out will show you that we absolutely dominated that game. But we'll start at the beginning. Melvyn, as usual, the lineup comes out and everybody goes a bit mental. But before we'll go into that, obviously, all of us on the show would pass on our best wishes to the family of Billy Vigo, who sadly passed away a couple of last week after that really horrific accident or incident he had, and having that serious brain injury. We was all obviously pulling for him. I think, James, you told me about it, thinking in the WhatsApp chat, and I'm obviously doing some reading up on it. You're really tragic. 21 years old. Really, really, really sad. We do pass on all our best wishes to him, to his family and friends, and the club obviously yesterday, and Newcastle, and the women's team as well on Saturday. They all wore black armbands in respect to him and everything. So yeah, obviously before we move on, yeah, really sad news, and pass on our best wishes to Billy Vigar's family and friends, and let's hope something is done. James, you go to a lot of long league games, and you've seen what it's like down there with the conditions of the stadiums and stuff like that. A lot of them are old fashioned and not moved along with modern times and stuff.
I mean,
let's hope something changes now.
Yeah, just to chip in quick, Mike. There was an article released on the BBC today. It was sometime this evening, about 4:35 ish, saying that this death was entirely preventable, and that just I was already thinking this is a needless loss of a life here, and so when you read stuff like that, I'm like, just my heart goes out to the family even more. He's doing something. Sorry.
Who put it out? Sorry, who put it out?
It was BBC. But yeah, they've obviously done like the investigation somewhat, and they've said that that club that he played at and that wall that is there doesn't need to. But a lot of these clubs are like, well, no, structurally, if we get that taken down or whatever, they're like, no, that wall doesn't need to be there. Yeah,
crazy.
It's very, very sad.
Terrible stuff. And like we said, thanks for that, James. And we pass on all our best wishes to Billy and his family and friends. And let's hope this is, if anything, this is a catalyst for things like that to not happen again. I think someone said online that there was an incident like this a few years ago in Bath City, I think, where a player hit their head on concrete again. Yeah, they need to sort that out. But let's move on to happier things. The result yesterday, Melvyn. Obviously, we'll start, with the lineup, and obviously we'll obviously flow into whatever we need to flow into. But the usual stuff happens, doesn't it, Melvyn? The lineup comes out, and then everyone's sort of scrambling around like a grenade's gone off. And the surprise this time was obviously Mosquera coming in for Saliba, and I thought as well Trossard. I thought. I was kind of saying Mourinho was going to start because of how Arteta has been away from home and in the big games. But what was your thought just on the lineup and just how that seemed to, for me, sent a message, sent a signal out to the rest of the team really, and to Newcastle that with Eze in there, he was going to give him something to think about because they've not had that type of player to deal with, when they played against us recently. So what was your thoughts on the lineup and just how that sort of set us up for that first 10-15 minutes?
I wasn't that bothered about the centre half coming in. He's done a great job for us, and he's proved his worth. I know he made a mistake which indirectly led to the goal, but he's been brilliant. I wasn't worried about that. But to have Eze there in the midfield and not wasting him on the wing, I thought was fantastic. Perhaps Trossard, I would have liked to see Martinelli start and Trossard come on because he normally does well when he comes on a sub, Trossard, but he didn't have a great game, Trossard, but he was involved at the end. So, no complaints from me at all. But no, that team was fine. I mean, let's face it, whoever goes in now, say the top 22, there's not a lot of difference between our best player and our 22nd best player. There's not the big gaps there used to be. So I'm not that bothered now. As long as he plays a team that wants to play, that can play on the front foot, and with Eze there, you'll always, in the midfield, you'll always play on the front foot.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was like a reverse of the way I felt against City and mainly Liverpool, James, in terms of when that lineup came out, you felt a little bit of deflation. But seeing that Eze was in there and Trossard as well, for me, it seemed like we were getting a lot more of our like our technical players in there, actual footballers who can actually, have a bit of threat in that final third. And obviously, you kind of saw that with Eze having those couple of those early chances, and then Trossard hitting the post as well, and maybe when he should have cut it back. But what was your thoughts just on that lineup, the way we set up, and just that first opening sort of 15 minutes where we looked so strong?
Oh yeah, 100% agree. And when that lineup come out, I felt so much better because obviously, you're picking them in your head. We're all debating in all the groups that we're in about, is he going to do this again? Is he going to do that again? And like we said, Mike, didn't we? In that pre-match before the game began, the guy was interviewing and I was just like, he wants to be anywhere in the world than answering questions from you right now. Because he was saying about system or emphasis, are you going to put Trossard in there then, and Eze's going to go out? What? And I'm like, he ain't going to give you a crumb, mate. Like you can prod and prod and prod. He ain't telling you nothing. But yeah, no, like we kept saying, when you've got that Odegaard size hole, And Martin Odegaard at the moment, I know you're probably going to touch on him later, but Martin Odegaard at the moment is nowhere near the level what he should be, yet this team still misses him. So that says so much to me that we're not, even though he's not even at the level that we expect, we're still lacking even him when he's bad. That says so much about what this team's doing. And we just kept going on about it, didn't we? We're like, you've got to play Eze or Nwaneri in the hole here. You have to. You need a ball manipulator. Your forward line at the moment likes people that are playing into them quickly and precisely. So you don't need the bigger player, the stronger player. Okay, he come off the bench and he helped out at the end, but you don't need him to start with. And that team that he picked there, and that you said about first 15 minutes, I agree with you, but I'd add another 20 on that as well. I thought that opening 35 minutes that we played there, other than obviously some of the finishing and the ball not going in the net due to the fact that the goalkeeper become the best goalkeeper in the, he become prime Yashin, Casillas, Buffon, whatever one you want to call him. Yes, the Dino's off, whatever ones you want to pick. I thought that was the best football that we've played since Real Madrid at home, Mike. Honestly, in my opinion, I thought we were electric, and I'm like, that is the blueprint of what you need to do now for the rest of the season, because there'll be teams that will not defend as well as that, or have goalkeepers that will pull off those kind of performances. So we could have been we could smoke teams 3 or 4-0 within 35 minutes if we wanted to, and I believe we could. I really do.
Yeah, I kind of said the first 15 minutes because of what happened. In the 14th minute, which we'll get into, but you're right, I totally agree. The first half an hour was brilliant. Some of the movement and the link-up play as well. I think Saka got in as well, and obviously the move that led to Trossard having that shot, that was after the big penalty incident. So it wasn't like we kind of felt sorry for ourselves. I think there might have been a 5-minute spell where we kind of felt like that. But then I think afterwards we kind of switched back on again. Let's just get into a couple of comments. Thanks for everyone for joining us as always. Thanks, Nick, saying hello to everybody, and hope you're happy and healthy. Yes, we are. And thanks for the support, man. Really appreciate it. And as for the game, it was boring and lacked any drama. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, this is only going to be a 10-minute show. We're not really that much to talk about, to be honest, guys. So. You'll have some stuff. You might be able to catch the rest of the West Ham game in a minute. So thanks for that. And he's just Nick again. I don't like the fact that managers cannot speak about Pogmol without sanctions, and that players could face bias if they do. Time to replace this corrupt shower of. Yep. As I said, I've gone on like that all the time. So true. Hi Brian. I'm so glad we competed against the best midfield three in the Premier League. Yeah. And the brilliant Timber, who was outstanding again, he absolutely ruined both of them at the end. John Litton and Grimares, it was fantastic, brilliant stuff. Neil, how you doing, mate? Hello all, what a win, and better still, what a panel. Cheers, mate. Thanks for that. And chocolate Jesus and walking so far. I think he's on one again, lad. So just be careful. Some of the stuff he's going to chuck a couple more grenades in the chat. I think I haven't got the heart to message my brother-in-law who's a Geordie fan. Yeah. Good luck, Brian, with that. And hi, Mac as well. As he has to start every game if he's fit. Yeah, it's the choice, it's the options that we've got now. As is a better all-round game, the extra control. Yeah, because I think it was something different. Newcastle were used to smashing into Odegaard, aren't they, and forcing him away and stuff. But he gave him, because he can take the hits. As he's a strong boy, and he can just roll them, and he can just be away. He's just gave him a different problem, and they didn't know how to handle it. Hi, Steve. I hate watching the game, but Ian was justified. Yeah, absolutely. And Yorker's put himself about. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get on to that. It's got a nice segue into there. Thanks, Steve. Assisting as usual. Let's talk about that incident, that penalty incident, which has got, as usual, everybody up in arms. It's got some people, talking about Arsenal again, and in whatever light or whatever narratives they want to push on. I'll just read you something, a bit of a not bedtime reading. Let me see if I can find it. So I'll have I don't know if you can see this. I think I'll try and put it on the big screen if I can. But this is Howard Webb, the good old Howard Webb. And this is him talking about the situation that happened last season with William Saliba, when he says the touch Saliba's on the ball doesn't negate to a possible award of the penalty. We've seen other examples where the ball might touch a player and there's still heavy contact on the follow through and it's a penalty. So it's a late contact from the player who hasn't played the ball himself. Key word that, not played the ball himself. The ball's touched him, but he hasn't played it. Again, another key line there, and Pedro goes down in the penalty area. So when you break it down in that way, it's a penalty. So he's basically there, has basically said everything that's happened with the Gyökeres situation. Again, so you can change it. So the touch, basically in bracket, so it could be Pope on the ball, doesn't negate the possible rule of a penalty. We've seen other examples where the ball might touch the player and it's still a heavy contact on the follow through, which is exactly what Pope did against Gyökeres. And it's a late contact from the player who hasn't played the ball himself. Gyökeres kicked the ball onto Pope's foot. So that can be clearly seen on the actual images for VAR and everything. So a year ago, he's basically said something there, and then we're here a year later, and he's done, and it's a complete 180. I think I don't know if you guys, if Melvyn, if you've seen the information coming through from the audio. Apparently, the VAR Darren England was basically talking Jared Gilette through the whole situation, basically telling him what he should do, like telling him that no, this is the reason why you have to not give that penalty. So it wasn't like he was giving him a chance to make a decision on it. He was basically telling him what to do. What's your thoughts on it? Because even Saka's come out, which is great. He said that we always seem to get things like this happen to us. The majority of people are saying it was a penalty, and there's only a couple of muppets like Joe Hart saying it was nonsense, absolute nonsense. But what's your thoughts on that? And have you seen anything like that? And you've always said it. We are ref differently. You've watched Arsenal for years.
Yeah,
you watched Arsenal for years, and when you say it, people say, "Oh, you're talking nonsense." It's compared. I've just read a statement which happened a year ago, which was exactly the same thing, and that was a penalty. And this time round, it isn't. So, what's your thoughts, Mel?
First of all, this should all be irrelevant because the laws of the game, as I understand it, and I don't understand perhaps the laws anymore. They keep moving them around, so none of us understand it. It's got to be a complete. What's that expression they use?
Clear and obvious.
Clear and obvious.
Clear and obvious. Right down. Clear and obvious. It wasn't clear and obvious, number one. And if you're telling me that VAR told him what to do, even though he could see it with his own eyes, my question would be, why bother to have a ref on the pitch?
Yeah.
Because it's irrelevant. You've just made the referee irrelevant. You shouldn't tell a ref what to give. You should show him this is it now. What do you think? Don't give him clues. They go through us when we get a penalty, or we get a goal. They must go through. I reckon they take more time over penalties for us and our goals, looking at it with a microscope to look for something. Whether someone in the crowd coughed like who wants to be a millionaire, someone coughed. We cannot allow that goal.
Yeah,
it's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's disgraceful. And basically, what people have shown themselves up to be, and I'm biased, I'm an Arsenal supporter, I admit I'm biased, but people that don't have to be biased show themselves up to be biased, like Joe Hart. You're looking at it and going, why on earth would you think that is not a penalty? Is it A, because you're a goalkeeper? Perhaps. Yeah. Is it B, because you play for Man City, and there's what your heart is? Or what is it? Just what is it? Or do you want to just jump on the match of the day bandwagon and get signed up for next year as well?
Pretty much,
do the agenda, have an agenda there. It's ridiculous. Two friends of mine who are not Arsenal supporters, both funnily enough West Ham, and they've got their own problems at the moment. As the penalty as he went down, definitely Stonewall, within seconds of each other, and then they went, what? Yeah. They just couldn't believe it. And believe me, they don't love Arsenal. My two friends, they do not love Arsenal. They cannot believe it. And I'll say it again. Would Liverpool, for example, the same shape, the same players type of goes through, the same thing happens, would they have got a penalty? They might have got 2 penalties for that one incident. The goalkeeper could have got sent off for that incident. I'm not saying he should have done, but he could have done. It's unbelievable. It really is pathetic. And you know what? I love watching Arsenal, but I don't enjoy watching football when Arsenal are involved, if that makes sense. I get frustrated. I feel like we've got to beat the 11 in front of us, plus the referee, and now the 3 geezers or 2 guys sitting in the VAR office. Yeah. I just think that I'm looking and what have we done? What have we done? And when that penalty was given, the ref went pointed. I thought, I'm not 100% because it's us, not because what I saw. I thought, And one thing my friend did say to me, he phoned me up tonight to discuss it. He said, you know what? It'd have been better if the ref wouldn't have given a penalty. Then VAR would have seen it and said, you've made a mistake, it's a penalty. Would have probably been a penalty that way around, which makes a mockery of everything.
Yeah. It was, it was absolutely infuriating. And the way the narratives has changed now, James, in terms of people are coming out, calling out, sort of saying, they can see that, he played the ball, and, and it's just laughable, really. And, the case in point, the instigator in chief, Gary Neville, he on comms, he's straight away saying, "Oh, that's a pen, that's a Stonewall pen," and then he sees the replay, and then he starts, turning a little bit, and then, like I think I said on a pod yesterday, the way that he communicates when he's co-commentating, and the way Jamie Carragher communicates. They do their punditry stuff when the game's going on, but when an incident comes up like this, the way that their communication changes, it's almost like they're talking to Stockley Park. It's like they're almost trying to influence. It's like, that's not a red for me, or that's not a penalty for me. And the way they're talking, it's like they're having a three-way conversation, because I don't care what anybody says, they get that audio piped into the wherever they are, just so, because what have we all said? Wouldn't it be great if VAR had the input of ex-professionals who could help them with decisions like this? And that's exactly what these two are doing subliminally. That I think that's what they're doing in situations like that. They are giving the advice from an ex-pro to and they're kind of virtually there. They're not there right next to them. They're actually giving their advice to that. And I think that's what happened. And you saw it with the jumping to the end, the penalty situation with the end, how he was kind of saying, "Oh, he's in trouble here, Gabriel." He's because he wanted that penalty to be given, because it went against the narrative what he was saying before. A big team goes on and wins from 1-1, and when we did it, he started commentating. He was like, he wasn't static that it came off. He was more like gutted. But what was your thoughts on that incident as well, James? I mean, we've seen so many things. I've lost count the amount of times we've been just some of bonkers stuff we've been at the hands of. And here's another one. I just don't get it. What was your thoughts on it, man?
Oh, it's absolutely, it's a joke. It's an absolute joke. Just to quickly jump in on what you said there, just to take a little inch there and take a mile if I can back, Mike. In the small bit of media and TV experience that I have from what I've done previously, you're spot on there with the commentators. They have like a line 6 box, which you can get for podcasting or what have you, and it has all your audio channels on it. That normally has one, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 different plugins. So they've got each other so that they can hear each other. And they've got someone in the studio that's probably going, right, in about 5 minutes before the game ends, this is what's coming up on Sky next week. Plug, 24, Lost, whatever. They give them all their, and they're like, yep. But yeah, they get the audio feed directly from Stockley Park as well. And then they also get, if they want, just the fans, just fan noise, or the microphones that are near the pitch. So yeah, they get all those, you're spot on there. They get every single one of those channels. But yeah, it's very interesting what you say, that I've seen the video that's doing the rounds, and I believe it's John Champion and Jim Beglin. And I don't know what country that's from that had them commentating, but you can hear John Champion saying he's literally verbatim telling him what to see. And he's like, And you can hear Beglin going, well, that's re-reffing the game. And they're quickly like,
yeah. I think it was America.
Like,
I think it was NBC. I think it was.
He's literally saying like he's verbatim telling him what he needs to say. So I'm like, well, yeah, that is you contradicting your very principle of that it's not invented to re-ref the game. And I go back to, and I wish I could remember. I'm trying to remember what Italian player it was. But he was saying that, do you know, he was saying that it's such a joke, the refereeing in England, that he's like, they literally have a program the very next week where they discuss the refs. He said there's a program within an hour to an hour and a half allotted each week to talk about referees. He said, and this is coming from an Italian. He's like, an Italian is calling out, he went, this is a joke. He's like, you literally have a dedicated show for refs. And because these all want to be celebrities. They do. They want it. They're fouled players. They're not fit enough to be players, or they're not techie enough, as the kids say, to be players. So they've ended up being refs. And I'm like, they want to feel like they're special. They want to feel like they're somebody. And the biggest thing as well that has really wound me up about this, just not from how bad the decision is, Mike, is Saka's got the ball. Yeah. And for want of a better way, if you're looking at it, it's a tap-in. Yeah. It's a tap-in. It's an open net and it's a tap-in. If he probably would have took an extra touch, cut in, and then done it. Yeah. But if he wanted to, he could have took it first time, and a player of that caliber probably scores it. However, the ball goes dead, and it gets given back to Pope. Yeah. When we're the one on the offensive, the ball's not gone dead. It's not a goal kick. It's not a corner. Saka's got the ball. He's there, and the only reason it stopped is because he's gone penalty. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, why is when that ball comes back into play? Why has it gone to Nick Pope? Because if you've deemed that he has won the ball in the challenge with Gyökeres, theoretically, you've said that Gyökeres has embellished the contact. So why is there no booking then to Gyökeres as well? Yeah. Why has Gyökeres not been booked for diving? Because you've made out that he's embellished the foul, the extent of what he's been tackled. So it just all becomes a complete farce, all of it. And like Stephen says there, it should have been a drop ball. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I don't understand how the team that's got the attacking advantage got complete. Not only did we get screwed out of the penalty, we got screwed out of the ball. Yeah. Absolute. Like I said, they're not fit for purpose, mate. I've lost count. I used to have it on my strap, but it's absolutely ridiculous. What was you going to come in, Melvyn? And
just to say, it's a good point, James. Man, I never thought of that. But what is quite amazing is that the linesman and the referee will play on a potential offside to the nth degree, but they won't play on when it's a possible penalty. I mean, even if it's given as a penalty, let the player play on until it's decided it is a penalty. Because just as you know, if a referee gives a penalty, doesn't necessarily mean it is a penalty. You know, they suffer footballers and get injured going down the wing and something like cluttering, even though the ref's got his flag up or he hasn't put it up, and he will put it up. And yet, for a thing like a penalty, they say, no, you can't play on. No. He'll probably get booked if he plays on, you know? It's pathetic. And one other thing is quite ironic, that with Arsenal, they're always looking for a different angle to try and stop us getting a goal. It's perfect, the expression, moving the goalposts in a football game, because that is what they're doing with us. They're moving the goalposts. Yeah.
100%. Again, with the goals that we scored again, you know, the VAR checks on both of them just to make sure that it was given. You know, I think you said that here years ago, James. It's like since VAR proper came in, I think every Arsenal goal has probably got the longest duration of checks after a goal. Everyone else is like, okay, crack on. But with us, it's like it's got to be a thorough check. You know, they bring it back to the halfway line. Was there a foul on the halfway line or something? It's
that Prince Charles Cinema's like dying, isn't it? It's not doing very well for itself. Like people aren't going in it. You know, they do these long marathons where they show all the Lord of the Rings or all the Marvel. Yeah, they've got like Arsenal's goals under Pogba. They're bringing it all out for it's a super 15-hour sitting one day. It's a special.
I think we're lucky that the goals have nets, because you imagine the amount of goals that disallowed. So now never went in between the post and the bar, it went the other side. Yeah, but what about VAR? We can't do it for goals.
Yeah. Oh, hello, SSB28. How you doing? Steve. Yeah, it was a penalty. The ref thought it was, and yeah, it wasn't a clear and obvious error. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Mac, it's a Stonewall penalty. There's no one except VAR and the referee. Brotherhood, I think it was not a penalty. However, we must remember, even though we have been wronged, our monster mentality won. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I said we officiate. Yeah, we are. It's fact, you know.
Just quick as well, Mike.
Yeah.
And we've brought this up before, but I feel like it's relevant again.
Yeah.
When Liverpool got stung at Spurs, and they did get, as much as I hate them and I like laughing at them and everything, they got stung at Spurs a couple of seasons back.
Yeah.
They went scorched earth and was like, he ain't reffing us ever again. Yeah. And I don't believe that guy. He might have been on the VAR or whatever, but I've never seen him physically ref a Liverpool game. I'm prepared to be corrected if I'm wrong, but I don't remember ever seeing that guy ever physically ref. Yeah. And I think Arsenal now, with everything that's at stake and, you know, the level, how important these points are getting in even this early, only 6 games into the season, I think we've got to go, do you know what? No, you're not, you know, he's had 4 of our 6 league games this season.
That's crazy. Yeah, he's been involved in,
And he's banned from being allowed at Liverpool, and he's banned from being at Everton because he's openly a Liverpool fan. So why can't other, you know, I watch a lot of boxing, I watch a lot of cage fighting, and when they get done over, they're like, I ain't having him ever in that ring. He's not allowed in that ring with me again. I think we should be the same. I think we should go. He's out. Especially when it's clubs that are competing in the title races and whatever. He should not be allowed to ref them games.
No, and it's not hard to do, is it? It's not hard to put somebody else in. You know, if you know, depending on how things are going, you probably say you can't ref a Arsenal game, you can't ref a City game. Let's say, because we all know that it's us, City or Liverpool, who are going to do something. And yeah, he's open. He's an open Liverpool fan. You know, everybody knows it. And yet he can't ref Liverpool games, but he can. You know, he can ref the opposition, the rivals. You know, who you know, it's. We all called it. We all said it was something was going to happen, and there were a couple of incidents in the game which people can turn around and say, Gabriel was lucky, and what have you. But also, you know, Newcastle were as well. Obviously, with that incident, that case as well with the penalty, and something we'll see later on. Obviously, with Guimaraes as well, with blatant handball, which just wasn't looked at. You know, I can't believe it. The guy's arm was out. You know, and I've got shots of that just to say. Neil, he called out Joe Hart and Jamie O'Hara on the Purely Pod. So it's just a narrative. Everybody wants to run with it because it makes them relevant. It gets them hits, but it just makes them look stupid in the end because everybody else can see, you know, the obvious. Howard Webb's always getting involved. So he was caught in the blow. It seems doing this. Yeah, that whoever the cameraman was in that Bournemouth game. When they cut to him in the stands when he had his earpiece, you know, he must have been an Arsenal fan doing that because he probably done him. He probably stitched him up, and I don't think that he'll ever get caught on camera like that again. Steve said the exact same as Melvyn. Watching our games, you just know there will be an incident, and they will do verbal gymnastics to call it right when it's us. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And Neil agrees with Melvyn. It's become disturbing and disgusting, this BS. Yeah, because nobody knows what a penalty is anymore. No one knows what a handball all is anymore. Nobody really knows what offside is anymore, and they keep wanting to change it, even though they've got this automated offside detection. They want to change it again, you know, and stuff like that. It's just absolute nonsense. It really is. It really is. So let's go into. So we went 1-0 down. Any you know. The goal was a bit disappointing in terms of Gabriel, you know, considering what he had to go through with that Disgracia game, let's say, when Arteta lost it, when he got shoved in the back, probably got shoved in the back by Joe Linton. You disappointed that what he didn't just stand up, just be a bit stronger there, Melvyn, for that goal, because it seemed like it definitely rattled him because he did that bit of nonsense at the kickoff with their striker and.
I put on the WhatsApp group that James and I are on. I put he ought to be, I think, ashamed of himself. I felt that strongly. And even before that, he had a 2-minute spell where he gave the ball away 3 times. Yeah. Made 3. I thought, what's going on with him? And that, I just think that was just being I don't like cheating, right? I don't care who does it. And he was cheating and he got caught out. And I hate Arsenal letting a goal, but he got what he deserved, really.
Yeah.
I can't, listen, he's a fantastic player. You know, as we will go on to the rest of the game, he's been brilliant for us since we signed him. But he's got to get that out of his game. It's all right going over, pretending you've been touched in the back when you're on the halfway line. And the geezer's by the touch line, and if it's not given, it could be cleared up by other Arsenal players. You do not gamble if you're a defender or anyone. You do not gamble like that when the ball's coming over. I think I'll try one here and just go over, because even if the guy scores and it goes to VAR ain't going to let him off the hook. It was embarrassing.
Yeah,
and I hate to see any player do it, and I hate to see an Arsenal player do it. And he got what he deserved, I'm afraid. And I thought when Arsenal made the substitution at half time, I thought when I saw Saliba on, I thought the manager might have taken him off instead. I really did.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. That's how angry I was. I was angry because we've been playing so well. I've never seen us for a few years now play at Newcastle like that. We don't only get beat at Newcastle, they rip one out of us. And for once, we were on the front foot. We were playing our football. They were irrelevant, and we let them do that. Two bad mistakes, one after the other. One was a mistake, and one was idiocy. I'm afraid. I'm being a bit critical. I know I shouldn't be, but it really, really upset me.
Yeah, because we know that what he's like. He's a warrior, isn't he, James? He leads from the front, and it just seemed like a bit of a cop out the way he kind of threw himself down. He felt that, like I said, what he had to go through with that situation with Joe Linton shoving him in the back that time. That was obviously more forceful. That was definitely a shove. But yeah, it was just disappointing that, and his head definitely went after that. Obviously, with what he did with Waterman, and what was your thoughts on that, and just how he went into the second half, especially with Saliba coming in as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's systematic of what we've always said about Arsenal in the last couple of years, in that one person makes a mistake, so you're going, right, bail your mate out then. And it's like, oh, no, you're going to make one as well. You know, Mosquera, bless him. And I agree with what you said at the start of the show, Melvyn. I saw people saying when Mosquera got taken off yesterday, oh, why has Arteta done that? He's killed that lad, hooking him there and everything. And I'm like, he proved right in the end. All them substitutions were proved right, because we'll touch on it about Gabriel's goal, how important what Saliba did was, Mike. We'll pick that up in a minute, I'm sure. But yeah, for me, and the thing with Mosquera is I know that he's dropped a clanger there, but he's young and he'll learn from that, and he won't. We've had defenders at Arsenal the last couple of seasons, going back in the really, really turgid times, where they've made a mistake and you go, well, they're going to make another one next week. Then they'll make one the week after. Then they'll make one the week after that. They're never going to. These lot ain't going to learn nothing, and yet they're still getting picked and they're still being played. And then we've got to pay for them to leave. We've got to give them the privilege of giving them money to leave the club. It should be like, you should be the first ones out the bloody door. You shouldn't be allowed to be let in, let alone be paid to get out. But there we go. That's a different story for a different day. But yeah, no. Gabriel, for me, like we've spoken about, Mike, we had a big discussion on our channel about the captain armband and people saying Rice and him and everything. Oh, he doesn't shirk from responsibility in it. He shirked from responsibility there yesterday. Yeah. He did. And he knew it. And you could tell by his celebration and how he was at the end that he was like, thank God, because he went, I dropped a clanger there. He's like, I had a bad one there and I've redeemed myself, which, thank God he did. Thank God he did. Yeah, he's a great player. He is. He's been one of the last couple of seasons. I know Saliba gets all the plaudits, and he signed that new 5-year deal and everything. Gabriel's been our best centre-back. I'm sorry, the last 2 seasons, definitely Gabriel's been better than him. And I love Saliba. That's not slating Saliba in any way, but Gabriel has been the best of the two the last couple of seasons, definitely. Yeah,
I think it's just because Saliba's easier on the eyes, and he's more silky, whereas Gabriel is very rough around the edges and everything, and we saw that obviously yesterday. But yeah, so he makes the substitution at half time. He brings on Saliba, and we basically, after a bit of a sticky 5 minutes in the second half, we kind of just carry on. I think we're probing and looking good. but just can't get the finishing, right. Gyökeres is getting absolutely manhandled by everyone. I think Brian mentioned before in the chat about him getting thrown on the floor and everything by Lascelles. The club bouncer again. Literally that's what he's going to be doing on the Saturday night. On down at down the Gallagate. Doing outside Shearer's that Shearer's bar. Probably he's got his SIA badge on because that's what he is. He's just a club bouncer and he's throwing Gyökeres around, and it's funny. All these defenders, it's almost like it's like a test of their masculinity, just to strength up against Gyökeres because they know he's a unit. So it's like, I'm just going to just smash into him and just try and ruin his game a little bit. But yeah, I thought he had a brilliant game. Gyökeres, a really solid game. It's a shame that the penalty. I think he would have probably dispatched it. Shame he didn't get a chance to pop it away. But I thought his general link-up play yesterday was really, really good. I loved the way he was linking up and holding it up for Saka and Eze. The fact that he was playing so close to him as well. But so as the second half goes on, that man from Sociedad, Mikel Merino, comes on, and Melvyn. I don't know what to say really because he's had a lot of stick. He's not the most athletic guy in the world. It's not his fault that he's getting picked by Arteta. He just comes on and does a job, but he stepped up again with a massive goal when we needed it. But what's your thoughts on that? And how were you feeling at that point? Because for me, when that went in, I was thinking, okay, all this weekend there's been late goals left, right, and centre. I think there's another one coming. I really thought there was another one coming, and I think we were going to get it. But what was your thoughts when that went in?
When he got brought on, I saw he took off. I thought, hold on a minute, where's he going to play, Marino? What's going? Then I thought the next thing I was going to see is Mikel Arteta running on the pitch and going, Mikel, you put the wrong number up. You should be. It's not you. It's someone else. I thought that must be the only reason put him on. He's on the pitch. They put the wrong number up. They gave the geezer the wrong number, the official. But I couldn't work out what position he was going to play. Honestly, I'm thinking midfield, no. Play up top, not sure about that either. So I don't even know what. But what happened? It was a delicate header, fabulous header. I mean, I don't think any centre forward in the league could do a better header than that. It was sublime. He got in front of the defender, flicked it back. It reminded me, to go back a long, long time, boys, of I'll tell you, one of the best headers of football I've seen at Arsenal was George Graham. And he would score a goal like that. He would just give it a little flick, let the ball do the work. I mean, it was lovely. And it was slow motion, that one went in, didn't it? It seemed to be
just floated in there.
Going, I'm like getting off me sitting, what? It was like, you expected the goalkeeper to dive 300 foot and tip it around the post the way he'd been playing. But when you saw he was like stranded, it was fantastic. And it just lifted everything. And I'll tell you what, obviously, I know that you're saying there's time to get a winner with extra time, but you'd have taken a draw. I'd have taken a draw because I just think everything, it was with the penalty and everything else. I thought, you know what, this place to come away with a draw is not the end of the world. But I thought we've got a chance here. But I didn't want them to go up the other end and score because they didn't deserve to get 3 points. And I didn't want them to get a chance to get another goal to take the 3 points. It was so undeserved had they got the 3 points. And I think they would have been lucky to get a point, really. So that went in. It went, yes, all of a sudden it all lifted. The whole mood lifted. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And I thought this guy come on as well. He looked really good considering where, the seasons he's had so far. He looked really good playing in a different kind of position. He obviously because Eze was on there still, and I think Rice was still obviously on there bombing up and down, sort of a little bit more on the left 8. I mean, I thought Rice second half was outstanding. He was all over the place. There's a couple of times when on the break where he sort of defended, did his usual number 6 work. But I thought he was different class. But Odegaard, some of the passes he was making as well, the way he was splitting them open. I think it's just all the competition, isn't it? He's seen Eze come in, he's seen him score obviously midweek and have a good game yesterday. He looked like he should have banged in a couple. But I just think again, it's a mark of when you've got the quality on the bench that we've got James, you're kind of compelled to keep going, aren't you? Regardless of the situation, the game situation, and this is why we kind of all to a man kind of said, at Anfield and City, you've got the quality. You've got to. I don't want to say it because it's getting boring now. The handbrake, this, but you've got to let them go a little bit and let them play a little bit, and we did in the second half. And there was only one team that was going to get that goal for me. I know they had their opportunities with the penalty incident, but what was your thoughts just on Mourinho's impact and Odegaard's especially as well?
Yeah, for me, Mourinho, I know a lot of people, they even said to me about some of the ways that I've spoken about him. And I was like, look, I'm saying he's not a starter. I'm not trying to say he's not an important player. I said, you're getting lost in what you're listening, but you're not hearing. I'm like, every player that's in that squad now, he values and trusts to come on at whatever point and do a job. And I'm like, Mourinho yesterday, when he come on, he went and done his job. And Mac puts a good point in there about him not being a midfielder. He's too slow and he's like a Giroud. I was speaking to my dad yesterday and my dad was saying to me, that's a harsh thing to say, but it's what I believe. I said, Dad, this guy is a better Fellaini. Fellaini used to be at Everton for David Moyes. And when he signed him for Man United, he just used to go to him. You might be a 10, you might be a number 9, you might be, but I'm going to throw you in and just give me some chaos. And that's what happened. That game, when it got to 1-1, become a chaos game. But you know what I loved? He threw all our attacking players on, didn't he? Or players that were good on the ball. Lewis Skelly, good on the ball. He just went, go for it. And what I loved as well is when that board went up and it said 8 minutes, he was shouting, 8 minutes, come on, boys, more. And normally you're used to him going, no, calm it, rein back. But he was going throat. And that showed a change in emphasis for me from him. For Mikel Arteta to go, I want this. I want that second goal. Get me that second goal. And you're right. There was only one team that was going to get it, and it was us. And like you said, Melvyn, a minute ago as well about when we play them and how annoying it is and everything. There, weren't it nice that we rattled them for once? Because they were panicking. They went to a back 5. Then he swapped it to a 4 again. Then he went back. And I for me, the moment I saw them going 10, 15 yards deeper, I thought, we're under your skin now. We're under your skin, and you don't like it. You don't like it because they're, look what they put up before the game. Get into them. That was their big tweet on Twitter, weren't it? Get into it. And I'm like, but when people get back into your lot, you don't like it, do you, Geordies? You don't like it. So, it was good. I'm like, you can have that. You can sit on that for the couple of weeks, Geordies. And there you go.
I thought it was hilarious. Go on, Mel.
I'll tell you something I got put out this morning. I think now, after that, and the result we got, I know we haven't finished it yet, but the result we got, the turnaround from yesterday, and the feeling the club's got, I think really our season starts now.
Yeah, especially after the start of the first 6 games.
This is the running, Melvyn, because, I keep saying it, the big teams, I don't really have any it's the Fulhams, your Palace, your West Ham. That's the game. Villas, these are the games where I'm like, this next block, I'm like, this is where I'm judging you because this is where I need to see the improvement. Because I'm all right with, Liverpool. I was angry at the time because of the lineup, but it was at the end of the day, it was a worldy free kick. It was a worldy, and then the Man City one. I still think again, execution of finishing maybe not the best, but for me, I always think if you can go and look yourself in the mirror after that and go, did I give every single bit of me on that pitch? And I'm like, could you really do that against Liverpool? No, but City and Newcastle, I think you can. I think they could look at themselves in the mirror and go, we gave everything for that today. So, it's definitely a big change in emphasis and ethos, Mike. You can see that already. I mean, look at the amount that he's using of his sub. He's using all 5 of them now. He don't waste them. He uses every single one of them, which is for me is a change, and he's doing them early as well. It's not 65-70 now. He's hooking people at half time if he needs to. He's got no excuse. Again, another narrative, but he's got no excuse not to use the squad that he's got because as long as they're all fit and they're on there, and there's 4 players that we've got missing still. But as you said, James, the run coming up in the league,
I was just doing some quick maths, and I think we dropped in all. I think we dropped 7 points to those teams last season. 7 points. That's like you said. That's the game. People are talking about Gyökeres, being bought to score in the big games. No, because in the big games we kind of did all right. It wasn't until the Liverpool game that was the first time we lost in 22 games. So we were kind of doing all right in the big games. It's the teams like your West Ham, your Palace, Fulham. You need to get someone who's going to put those kind of defenses to bed and not allow them a chance back in. And obviously, he scored 2 goals against Leeds. He scored again. So you're kind of thinking, if he, as long as he does that, the big games will kind of take care of themselves in a sense. He'll may not get as many chances, but if he does, it will hopefully bury it. Go ahead, Mel.
It's a shame for him being a centre forward. His best football was outside the box.
Yeah.
Once he got inside the box, he wasn't great. Let's put it that way. Let's be honest. He wasn't great, but his work rate and his laying off was superb. I thought outside the box. Just for a second, there's something I want to talk about. The referee yesterday, right? When you play football and the ref, you've got to you take a free kick, and the ref goes, "Look, wait till I blow the whistle." That's normally what they say, right? This referee showed Rice the whistle for about 10 seconds. He kept pointing to the whistle. I don't know if you noticed that. He kept showing him the whistle. What's he doing? And also a tailgate. That was funny as well with him. I've never seen a team not be allowed to use the towel. I mean, it's just that's all over, isn't it? That's all over. Unbelievable.
Yeah. I'll just touch it back on was it Walton made the Newcastle striker talking about Gabriel and what he did, and he's not happy with it, and it's not something he's used to. He's obviously not been in Newcastle for a long time, so he's not been in training with Joe Linton a lot to see what it really is like, someone getting smashed in the face, and I'm sure he'll see it in a few games going forward. So again, that was just nonsense. Again, it was just, why are you wheeling this guy out just to peddle this sort of narrative that he did something that's so awful that he should get retrospectively punished? Because that's what some people were saying on the radio today. Oh, is Gabriel going to get in trouble for what he? It's it's just unbelievable.
Is Bruno going to get retrospectively punished for punching Jorginho in the head then?
Well,
what's the statute of limitations on these crimes, Mike? How long's it going back? Is Mark Van Bommel going to get done for what he did at Liverpool again? Who was it he crunched at Liverpool 10 years ago?
I mean, has our result yesterday been officially recorded, or can they change that?
I don't. You don't say that too loud, Mel.
I'm sorry.
I think they love to do stuff like that. Set a new precedent, because obviously, again, we are ref differently, aren't we? So let's finish on a high with our angel Gabriel outdoing the angel of the north. Going up there and soaring. Yeah, everyone more concerned in trying to hold him. If you watch it again, they're all concerned in trying to grab him rather than actually jumping and trying to win the header. If you watch it back, I know what I was doing. I was going mental in the living room, throwing the kids against the sofa, and then because I did it a few times, they just asked me to do it 100 times afterwards when I was trying to watch the end of the game and I couldn't focus and stuff. But Mel, talk to me about that moment, man, and
Well, I was sitting there. Sarah was sitting with me and my son-in-law, who. I won't tell you who he supports. Anyway, so I'm sitting there, and when the corner comes in, I'm looking and I lose sight of the ball. I don't know if it was nerves or whatever. My wife goes, "Goal!" And what? And then I suddenly just jumped up, and for the next 3-4 minutes, I think we played. I know there's 2 minutes left, but it was about to. Yeah. I was on my feet the whole time. I don't know how anyone else saw the television because I was right in front of it. I was just heading, kicking. Couple of slide tackles, every ball, and it was punching the screen, and my grandson was there, and I didn't care. I didn't care. He'd never seen that side of me before, but I tell you what, I didn't care. All bets are off when that went in. All bets are completely off.
Yeah, it's fantastic just to see the absolute. I can't wait for bench cam, James, because Gabriel Heinz absolutely stacked it, didn't he? When he got off the bench,
Yeah.
he tried to grab Arteta, and he absolutely don't know what he slipped on. But I really want to see bench cam for that. And it was just great that it seemed like everyone off that bench emptied the bench. Kepa, Max was down there. I was just trying to spot all the substitutes there in the actual celebrations, and you saw how much it meant. Yorkerez was, look at his face. He's celebrating like he scored that goal himself.
Yes, that's very important.
Yeah, it was just great to see everybody sort of involved in that, and I think that's going to embolden them. And as some of the guys have said in the chat, I think this is a spark. We've got over this first 6, tough sort of assignments, 3 or 4 of them. But going forward, James, I mean, what a moment that was at the end, especially against them with the little bit of history we've got with them.
Oh, 100%. And, we've all spoken about how emotional we are watching it. I'm like, God knows what they're feeling actually in the game. I'm like, of course they're like how they are. Because, again, these guys nearly got royally done over there for something that is a complete farce. So I loved it. I loved it. I mean, Saliba as well, Mike, in the goal. You're a huge NFL guy. I don't know a lot about NFL other than, I know what the jailbreak screen is for when you're on an offensive play. And I tell you what, Saliba executed that to perfection. Because he, for me, and when I first started playing football, obviously I've been like 6'3" since I come out my mum, basically. So I was put in goal. They were like, "You're massive, you're in goal." So I was like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." And I always got told, "Do not, whatever's going on, you get that ball." I said, if someone's in the way, they're getting it. You've got to get that ball. And Pope's Saliba was brilliant. Saliba was brilliant. He weren't doing a Ben White where he's pinching him or all that, but he was just enough in his way and giving him enough to think about instead of thinking where the ball's going. And we know one thing with Gabriel is he will throw himself at that ball with such venom. But yeah, it's another brilliant header. And Odegaard, weren't it, that whipped it in? So he's got his numbers up. He started. So I don't care if they're from set pieces. I mean, that's the other thing as well. All these, you're only scoring set pieces, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I couldn't care less. I couldn't care less. I'm like, you keep going to us that we can't win these games. We win these games, and now it's how we win these games that's the problem. It's boring. It's boring.
It's always a problem. It's always a problem with what we do. We don't score enough goals. It's a problem. When we do score goals, it's a problem. It's tiring.
When we celebrate, it's a problem.
Yeah, celebrate is a problem. Yeah. When we didn't have a big enough squad, it was a problem. Well, now we have got a big enough squad. It's a problem. How are you going to keep everybody happy? It's just tiring. It's just the narrative of just this Arsenal bashing. It's just continuous, and that's why I just think it's going to be so funny come the end of the season. If we actually land one of the big ones, it's just going to be it's going to be so funny. Because
like I said earlier, Mike, if we win it and before we lift it, I want them to wipe it with a towel. I want them to towel the trophy. Like I said, get a towel out for the trophy. That's what I want to do, just to wind them up even more. That's ridiculous, by the way. I never even knew that was a rule today, that you have to agree before the game that you're both going to use it. And apparently, because we both said no, so that was why it was agreed mutually that, because they were saying, "Oh, nobody. Why was Calafiori not told that?" They're like, "Oh, your bench don't communicate the rules of the game." I'm like, "Oh, you're looking at something and making a mountain out of a molehill here." You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not that big. It's not that big. It's a bloody towel. Like, chill out. Yeah.
It's just another thing for them to. And I think the fans started singing "Same old Arsenal always cheating" because he was just using a towel. It's just, it's just absolutely laughable. But it's funny, as I mentioned earlier, no one sort of wants to talk about the penalty that we should have got before the goal, which was from Bruno Guimaraes. I mean, I saw it in real time, and you only sort of got a quick glance at it when they showed a quick replay of it, because obviously everything that happened. But I thought this was...
Well, Mike, this is the first replay I've seen. I've not seen this on telly until you put it up here. I've not seen this on any television. When you see it, it's in shots, and I think it's even more compelling because all you got to do is look at where Bruno Guimaraes' arm is there, his left arm. Look at his left arm. He's got it tucked in, right? He's got his right arm up, and he's got his left arm tucked in. Martinelli's had the shot. Going to the next side. Now, look at his left arm now.
slightly gone up. It's not. You can kind of say it's a bit to his body, but it's gone up a bit, and then bang! Look at his left arm there. Now, are you telling me that's a natural position? Remember where his arm started, and look at where it ended. And you're telling me
did this go to VAR, Mike?
It was cleared. It was cleared in about 5 seconds, Mel. Apparently.
Oh, that's a shock. It's 10, 5 seconds.
I can't believe that you can see that and think, oh no, it's not intentional. Look, he's blatantly handballed that, but nobody wants to talk about it because obviously we scored a goal and whatever. But it would have been such a massive injustice if we hadn't got the win yesterday. Not on just the penalty, but also this one as well, because he's put his arm out. He's tried to stop it. Look at his body shape. If he's twisted his body round like he has, that left arm should be straight down the side of his body. He's got no business being out like that. So again,
Mike, sorry again, just quick, because I thought you'd touch on the other one with Gabriel. So I've actually got here, I saved this for this show, funny enough, because I knew we were coming on tonight. And I've put here, so the football laws are governed by IFAB, the International Football Association Board. So in its documents outlining the laws as they stand for this season, 25-26, Law 12, which covers handball, states that an infringement occurs when a player touches the ball with their hand/arm when it has been made their body unnaturally bigger. So the law goes on to explain that a player is considered to have made their body unnaturally bigger with the position of their hand and arm is not a consequence of or justifiable by the player's body movement for that specific situation. But like you said there, he's gone from being front face on to turning and the ball hits it. So I'm like, you've unnaturally made yourself bigger in the process. That is clear by them laws, a penalty. And you've gone within 12 seconds. No, it's not.
Look at his arm. It's out. It's way out. He's gone to stop it. And the fact that they've seen that, and they've cleared it in about 3 seconds and said, oh, you know, I just think the way that we've been officiated yesterday was absolutely scandalous. And you know, we're just so happy that we got out of there because, it is. Yeah, when you see that, it's just infuriating, absolutely infuriating, man. That's a blatant penalty. But yeah, a fantastic win. I mean, we move on now, guys, to Wednesday and Olympiacos. What you thinking, Melvyn? You thinking he's going to be a bit of rotation there? You think you're going to need to again just to keep people?
He will make a bit of. He'll play the centre, the young kid. He'll play the centre half, the young kid. He'll play Marcellia to left back probably. I don't know what he's going to do at right. Okay, Ben White at right back. He might have to play one of the one of the mainstay centre halves. Midfield, Odegaard will probably start, I think. Yeah. I think a man from Brentford, he'll start. Marino will probably play. Probably do something like that. Or one of them will play. Up front, Martinelli can get some more minutes. Don't know what he's going to do. Put Marino up front, he could do, I suppose, and play on the right. So he got Saka though, isn't he, really? Unless Ranieri can play there, can't he? I think a lot of a mix and match. He'll have the full squad if he need be on the bench, but he'll make a lot of changes, I feel. I really do.
Yeah. Yourself, James?
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be as wholesale as Melvyn has said, because I think, you know, you want to get through this first bit as quick as you can so you don't have that extra game. So I think you'll try to, you know, like we did last season where we tried to get as many points as we could early, so we didn't have to worry about this extra game. But then in our free game, he still played all the main guys anyway. He took the kids and he still played all the main guys, didn't he? But no, he trusts this lot more than the. But no, I hope that the fullback. I agree with Melvyn. I hope the fullbacks are switched. Timber is amazing. I thought yesterday he was arguably next to Declan Rice, the best player on the pitch. Yeah, I thought he was superb. So, but I'm like, don't be giving him 3 games a week. Let him have a rest there. Yeah, so I would put Ben White on against Olympiacos. I would put Lewis Skelly on. Norgard, I agree as well. Give Zubamendi a bit of time off, and then if he wants to put Nwaneri out on the right hand side, I know he said that's not where he sees him, but if he wants to do that, I've got no problems with it whatsoever. So. Yeah. No, I'm thinking he should do some rotation. I do agree with that, but I don't think
Yeah.
it would be as vast
Probably not.
as we want. But no, I do get it though.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Max get on and get the record, even if it's just for 5 minutes, and just get that, put that to bed.
Mate, it's another Marinakis and Edu team, so we got to tuck them up. We've got to send them back. Got to send them back home with nothing again, just to emphasis it. Bit of bullseye. Look what you could have had, Edu. Look what you could have won, mate. Give it a bit of that. So, yeah.
Fingers crossed. No, thanks, gents. It's been a great chat. We'd love to have gone in a little bit more on Pogmol, but that I'm sure there'll be many opportunities during the rest of the season where we can go into footing on those Muppets again. But a justified win for the Arsenal, and put a little bit of pressure on the Scousers, who again tried to get a leg up, didn't they, against Palace with Salah with a blatant handball, and giving a goal. Again, ref differently. But anyway, thanks, James. Always a pleasure. Hopefully, have you back on very soon. Go catch James on his channel, JJ's Football, and as you said, he does appear here, there, and everywhere. It's like we put the bat signal up. He appears on the pod. So thanks, James. Appreciate you, and obviously Melvyn, the legend. The only way is Arsenal, the Arsenal godfather. He's going to go away and make Howard Webb an offer he can't refuse, and hopefully he will refuse the offer so we can deal with him and leave a horse's
it won't
head.
be a horse's head, it'll be a donkey's head in his bed, all right?
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, that.
Just make sure you go over the head with a towel beforehand. Yeah, get a towel out there.
Thanks for everyone. Thanks
you very much.
Everybody in the chat. Thanks, Steve, Neil, Brenny, Brian, Mac, Nick. I think there was SSB, someone called SSB on here as well. Thanks everybody, really appreciate it. Hope to have you all on again very soon. I know everybody's busy and stuff, but thanks very much. We'll be back, maybe depending on how things are. We might be back for impromptu Champions League quick recap on Wednesday night. The kids will be asleep. The missus will be on her way back from the Emirates, so might have a little window, so I can have a nice a pod with if someone who's free. If not, we'll be back on the Sunday possibly after the West Ham game. Hopefully, we can sort those guys out. I don't know. What does anyone know what the score was tonight? Did they win tonight, or did they lose?
1-1.
I know they went 1-0 down.
All right. Okay, 1-1. Okay, so that's going to be interesting.
But Bowen, as usual, bails them out. He does his job.
Oh, really? Yeah.
We owe them something as well for the last couple of seasons at the Emirates, don't we?
Yeah, we owe them. We owe them big time.
Yeah.
We owe them big time. So, we've got that to look forward to. Well, thanks, everyone, for watching. Have a lovely rest of the week, and we'll see you all again soon. Come on, you Gunners.
Newcastle, the central figure again, and he looks to trick Michael.